Roger, go for deploy.
Alrighty, guys. Welcome back to Adventure Fit Radio. Ooh, today there was a shoot the shit by me and Tommy. It was a rather
Poignant.
poignant.
What does
does poignant mean?
Yeah. I'll look it up.
So there was a rather deep chat by me and Tommy talking about all things evolution and evolutionary biology and a whole bunch of stuff that we know little to nothing about, but we like to read about it and we like to talk about it. I don't know how else you would explain that show.
Yeah, that just went down the rabbit hole very fast. Very, very fast. But I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed it.
No, I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys do too. So this show is brought to you by True Pride. True Pride are a wealth creation service with working with ambitious individuals and families to worry less, take control and get ahead. We use True Pride, guys. They're freaking great. You guys should use them too. Go to www.truepride.com.au/ADVF. Book a call with the guys there. See if they can help you out in any of your financial needs, whether it's budgeting, saving, investing. They do it all. It's at the cost of $97 a month, and you can save $600 a month with what me and Tommy are doing right now. But
if you call them, you get $297 off the... They waive it off the joining fee, which works really well.
That's right. We're also brought to you by Carve. Carve are a company in the Philippines, guys, where I get my VAs from. I have 3 full-time VAs. Me and Tommy have one for the podcast. Alvin for 40 hours. I have Aaron and Mon also for 40 hours each. They run Adventure Fit Travel, basically. I run the grander scheme of things when it comes to Adventure Fit Travel. If you want to upscale your business or get more time back in your life, go to www.carve.ph/ADVF. You get 10 hours free.
Boom.
And Adventure Fit Travel. Check out what we're doing on the website, guys. We've got awesome blogs running through there. We've got all of our trips coming up, all of our podcast stuff, and everything is on there. So you will love it. Our site looks very fancy as well. We go to www.adventurefittravel.com. Check that out. Here's the show. What's going on, mate?
Oh, well, what is going on? It's a nice day out there.
Yeah, it's a bloody beautiful day.
But it started off being cold. Really
that's how
cold.
days normally do sometimes.
Yeah, that's weird though, isn't
It's due to that. There's a thing that happens between the warmth and the warmth of the day and the warmth of the next day,
which is
it's called the night.
Yeah, but what is that? What is that
it's this
really?
black thing.
Yeah.
This black thing that happens, and sometimes it gets cold, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Sometimes bad people come. There's sometimes it can be really fun.
It can be really fun.
Yeah.
Like when you go out
I've
in
had sex
the night.
in the night sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
What's sex like?
7 times or something.
Really?
Yeah. Not in the one night.
Oh, right.
Yeah. In the nights.
In all the nights.
In the nights past, yeah.
How many nights do you think you've been... How many days have you been alive for?
I've been alive for... No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many days. Enough days.
So hang on, you were telling me before that you've retired from weightlifting.
No, I haven't retired.
But all of the listeners know you as the weightlifter.
Yeah.
So what are you going to be now? Hi, I'm Bill the...
Entrepreneur.
Oh, yeah, entrepreneur.
That's that's legitimately... I said the other day, I'm like, weightlifting takes up 4 hours every day of my life, 5 days a week. It's a lot of work. Which is cool because I love it and I was taking it pretty seriously. But with Adventure Fit stopping and starting my training and just getting fucked over with mentally it's hard for me to stay up and about with trying to be a competitive weightlifter and give it my best. So that's fine. I don't mind just being a social weightlifter, go down, train, be fit and strong with my mates, hang out with my mates, which I will continue to do. But for the last little while since after Nationals, I trained 2 or 3 times in the first week after, that's very low for me. Then I trained twice. Then the last week I trained once, and now it's Friday and I haven't trained this week.
Yeah.
So it's if you looked at a graph, that is a straight decline.
Yeah, that is a straight decline.
But
a declination.
I've been just getting reamed Adventure Fit wise. Like I told you before the show, I got ulcers all in my mouth.
Well,
that's
a little different.
Yeah.
You should get that sorted.
Yeah. Too much of the sputs.
Too much of the Chomatz Madlaf.
So I don't think I'll retire, but I've definitely had a little halt in the training. That's for sure.
Did you see what Brian Cox put out recently?
I did see something on IFL Science.
That
Why
article?
was it? What about it?
He reckons that the reason we haven't been in touch with any intelligent civilizations is because they've all killed themselves, and which is the sure path that we're on. Thoughts?
I don't know that it's the sure path that we're on. I don't know that we're going to all
100% kill ourselves
and die. No, I don't think that's the case.
Well, Joe Rogan's he's made famous for saying that for an alien looking at planet Earth right now, we would look like we're cancerous. Like we're just taking away all the green and we're just spreading like wildfire and making it all smoky and shitty.
We would look like that. Joe Rogan is also famous in saying that he has still a lot of hope for mankind, and this is the greatest time to be alive. Which, if you look back in history, and like obviously we can only go on record books and movies that we see and things of that nature, but like think of living in fucking the Middle Ages, man. Think of the quality of life then.
Yeah, but they didn't. The planet wasn't dying then. No,
but the planet's not dying either.
Well, the planet is.
We can do a little. We are insignificant to the planet.
What do you mean?
The planet. What will happen is we'll. I don't understand really how it works. So please, listeners, make sure you get stuck right into me after this statement because it's coming from no technical knowledge but what will happen is the Earth will exactly what will happen.
Yeah.
The Earth will heat up. It'll fuck us right over. The ocean, all the polar ice caps will melt. Somehow that'll result in a massive ice age. We'll all get fucked over and we'll all start again.
Really?
Yeah.
You reckon that?
That's my hypothesis. No, but the Earth will just cleanse itself.
Yeah, but...
Have you ever heard George Carlin's bit on that?
Yeah.
You know, the Earth will just fucking sneeze us off and
But so that's exactly what I'm saying. So Brian Costa's saying the same thing. So we're going to die.
Yeah, but I don't think we're all going to die. We can't all die.
But how? But what do you mean?
Humanity's not going to... We're not every single person on the planet's going to die.
Well,
we're pretty resilient.
What about the dinosaurs?
Well, that was from an asteroid, mate.
Yeah, but a global... Yeah, but...
A global what?
Global warming. Saw Fausley wins.
Yeah.
Global warming is going to fuck us right in the kibbutz.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it to be really...
I'm pretty sure it's dire. It's not good.
Yeah, but, I mean, is the prediction that we're going to end up with global warming that results in us being fucking burnt to a crisp and dying in that way? Or is it going to melt the polar ice caps? It's going to fuck everything. There's going to be lots more droughts. But then the Earth will regenerate itself.
There's going to be a lot more natural disasters and all that sort of stuff. But I guess... so you're looking long term, aren't you? You're looking until after the next ice age.
Look at I just think that humans will always be evolving. Humans will always be up to the challenge. Well, we say that. We've only been around for however long we've been around. Do you know the dinosaurs around 65 million years? They were around longer than they've been not around.
Yeah.
Since us to them.
Yeah.
But so we've been around fuck all, but we've
only been around for like 2 million years.
Yeah, we're pretty ingenious little monkeys. So I have faith in us, and I think that the fact that I don't think we'll all die. I think what might happen is we might end up with 100,000 humans on the planet.
100,000.
But we're not going to go down to all. Well, we may, but
26.
I don't know if we're going to go down to 0 humans on the actual planet.
Well, yeah, you can't.
How much do you know about global warming?
I know a fair bit. I mean, my dad was literally Al Gore.
Okay.
So, I mean, I know, he's not Al Gore. But that whole documentary was talking about how, when all those carbon emissions are released into the atmosphere, it creates like a bubble around the Earth, and then all of the light that's come from the sun gets trapped in here and just increases the temperature of the Earth, and obviously exponentially going up the more CO2 we release in the air, and global warming is going to keep going. So I don't know how you got to the ice age. How are we going to get into an ice age? I mean, it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter.
Yeah,
and that's going to become harder for us to live.
This is so unscientific, but I believe for some reason that'll result in an ice age.
How is that going to result? So basically, we're going to get very, very hot, and then all of a sudden, it's going to be cold. Now,
but they don't know why ice ages started in the past either. So I don't know what.
Hang on.
What?
I'm pretty sure we do.
No, we don't.
You sure?
Well, how did
the last ice age?
Yeah.
Well, but that's because the so it got a little bit cold.
That's the mini ice age in the 1400s.
Oh no, not that one. You mean the one that Graham Hancock talks about?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm talking about the big dog.
No, the big dog was the one that Graham Hancock talks about. 10,000 years ago, 13,000 years ago.
20,000.
Yeah, whatever, 20,000 to 13,000 years ago. That was the Ice Age.
Yeah.
How did that? Well, you reckon they know how that came about?
Well, because I'm sure they do. I'm sure.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
They don't. Watch this.
Look, hang on.
Watch this. Hey Siri, how did Ice Ages come about?
Surely not.
There's a Wikipedia article about Ice Age. Would you like me to read it to you?
Yes.
Is that genuine?
Yes.
An ice age is a period of long-term reduction in the temperature of Earth's surface and atmosphere, resulting in the
epic.
presence or expansion of continental and polar ice sheets and alpine glaciers. Within a long-term ice age, individual pulses of cold climate are termed glacial periods, and intermittent warm periods are called interglacials. Glaciologically, ice age implies the presence of extensive ice sheets in both northern and southern hemispheres.
Yeah, but Siri,
Right.
like you're very monotonous.
Siri did well to say glaciologically.
He did. Here we go. Over long periods of time, the temperature of the Earth alternates between a cold ice age phase and a warm interglacial phase. Very small changes in the Earth's orbit result in only a 4 degrees Celsius in the global mean temperature, which can have a very dramatic impact on the Earth system. So basically, what I understand from it is you get minor changes in the Earth's temperature, and that'll cause increases in so more ice or less ice. And basically, when there's more ice, because white light reflects sun, the sun hits that white light, hits that ice because it's so white, and then it repels us straight away. That's why when you go up to Mount Buller or whatever, you get super tan because all that sun is hitting you directly after hitting the ground,
And it keeps it colder too.
It keeps it colder. It keeps it way colder. Yeah.
Like wearing a white t-shirt on a sunny day rather than if you were a black t-shirt, you're going to be cooking.
It's going to be cooking. Yeah, exactly. So the more ice there is, as a result of these little changes in global temperature because of the change in the Earth's orbit, more and more ice will reflect more and more sun, and that'll have a ripple effect, and then eventually, over long periods of time, develop into what we call an ice age. Mm-hmm. And the only reason that we got out of the last ice age, which lasted for I think it lasted for millions of years. The big one, which was like 2 billion years ago, like the big ice age, when we were like Pluto, basically. We got out of it because there was some like minor shift in the Earth, and there was this dormant volcano at the very bottom that just exploded, and then obviously from that exploded, hit the roof, and then developed into the next one. But I don't know how we're going to get.
So we had an ice age there.
Yeah.
Volcano explodes, hits the roof, and then we had the next one.
And then that's how it is. Well, I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Oh shit! No, go on though.
Yeah, and so then from this one having global temperature, this is the hottest we've ever been, right?
Yeah.
We've never had CO2 emissions. Well, we may have. Oh no, we haven't. We definitely haven't. We've never had CO2 emissions like this ever before. So
Well, we would have when the ice age, when the ice was melting, because it releases carbon.
Yeah, but not this much because we've.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but not. I mean, maybe the dinosaurs used to, release a few CO2s. But I know I do. Haha. But yeah, look, I don't know. Hummel. Yeah, look, basically you and I have no idea what we're saying.
Nah.
But it's interesting. Let's move on.
Well, what's your prediction for the future of mankind then?
Oh, geez, that's a big question. Like for the next 100 years?
Well, you're talking about we're all going to die off. What did Brian Cox say?
Well, he said that we're all going to die off because we're self-destructive, basically. And that's why we haven't reached any other. Because once a civilization reaches a certain point in advancing, it becomes self-destructive. And we've almost already seen that with things like the Cold War and the
Roman Empire.
The Roman Empire, yeah, exactly. The Roman Empire, the fall of the British Empire, all that sort of stuff. You just get too greedy, and then bang, there you go. And that's happened on a very small interplanetary.
But aliens aren't going to work around like us. We're the only. Well,
not that we know.
We're the only species on the planet that work that way.
Species on the planet.
We're the only species on the planet that work that way.
Yeah, but we're also the most intelligent species on the planet.
We are, but you can't really. It's not very.
Comparing apples and oranges.
It's 100%. It's 100% of the people that we know about with intelligence that have come to the position that we're in.
Yeah, we have no frame of reference.
But if you're doing a scientific, you're going for a scientific study. I don't know. That sounds so dumb, but a sample size of 1 is not really sufficient. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You can't really say that anyone out there is going to fucking work like we work.
Yeah, but you can't say they're not.
No, it's like Seth Shostak. Seth Shostak from SETI, when we interviewed
Difficult.
Seth, he said that he believes that when we reach anybody outside of us and it's intelligent life out there, that it'll be artificial intelligence. He said
Yeah,
because
but that's okay. Well,
it's the same thing as Brian Cox, because
how did he back that up?
it's the same. It's the same theory that you're giving me from Brian
I can't believe
Cox.
he said that.
It's the same theory that you're giving me from Brian Cox, because
Brian Cox will say, okay,
no,
yeah,
listen,
yeah.
because Seth says, okay, so we've been able to send radio waves out for 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then now in 150 years, or like in the next 50, say, so 150 in total, then we've got artificial intelligence, which is this is what they're predicting, obviously, is the most intelligent being on the planet. That's probably who will send out the waves and who we'll probably be speaking to, you know? So when you get a species that's been around for 2 million years, like you say, anatomically modern humans for 200,000 years, and you have humans or biological beings, not artificial intelligent computer beings. So we have, out of that 2 million years, or like 200,000 if you count modern humans, we've got a 150-year window where we became smart enough to send out signals, and then robots took over. So this is what Seth Shostak, who's the lead researcher at SETI Institute, which is the leading minds in the world for trying to find artificial intelligence. Find extraterrestrial intelligence. And he believes, same as Brian Cox, that everything revolves the way that everything revolves here. Why would you ever think that?
It's weird though.
Why people are like, they might not be able to send radio waves to this and that. Like, who the fuck?
But Neil deGrasse Tyson says completely different.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. You can't expect that whatever we're trying to find in the solar system to respond to us is going to be anything like us.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know?
Yeah, but like.
Well, you just said that. You just didn't say that though. You're going with the Brian. You're saying the opposite of that, mate. The point you are making is the opposite of the point that I'm making.
What point am I making?
No, well, no, you're not really. But you're just saying Brian Cox thing is the point that he's making is going off saying that everything works the way that we work.
Oh well, in a sense that yeah, in a sense that
you're not making the point, but the Brian Cox thing, like
in a sense that like other. So intelligent beings out there would have a self-destructive nature because humans have a self-destructive nature.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. And you can't. Yeah, look, there's a lot of philosophicals in this. You can't think either one way or the other. It's just the way I see it is that we've become more self-destructive as we've progressed because we can. We have access to more technology and we can do this and that. I feel like I don't really know what I feel like.
Is there more? We don't know, and we're not historians either. But is there more love and happiness in the world than there used to be? Do you think?
I don't think there is. I think there's less.
Because there was the whole history of mankind has just been war after war after war after war after war, right? Like now we have.
But before that, when Australia was Indigenous Aboriginals, when America was the Native Indians, when Europe was whatever. You know, I feel like there were a lot more tribes that were...
Pre-industrial revolution.
Yeah, like they were enlightened and they were, you know... But I'm going to say even before agriculture. So pre-agriculture.
Well, agriculture fucked it for everyone.
Yeah, they really did. Because then societies could conform.
Yeah, some people think that agriculture... A lot of people that are really smart people think that agriculture fucked it for everyone.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, you can have... You can have a world where you don't have a world where everybody's fucking well fed and everybody's happy and you have a world that's even more
worse.
Uneven than it used to be. So
way more distributed from there's a bigger gap growing between the poor and the wealthy. You know,
agriculture was the first time that people started to hoard things.
Yeah, that's right.
Like the first time that there was 10 corns in the field where they would feed 10 people or whatever, and then there became 500 corns in the field. Then the one big person in the tribe would say, okay, so
that's mine.
That's all my corn. You can come to see me and you can do work for me for the corn. Like that's how it all started, agriculture.
That's how societies form.
Yeah.
Literally. And then economics and then all that sort of stuff. But before that,
so you think we should just be hunter-gatherers?
Well, I mean, it would definitely get rid of a lot of the mental health issues in the world, I would say.
Why do you think mental health issues stem from
I really think that
society?
Humans haven't really evolved that much as the technology around us has. And we've had to grow very, very fast with it. I mean, you have a look at what an iPhone looks like now. 20 years ago, that would be just a thing of fiction. It would be literally magic. Yeah. And basically, our bodies are still in the idea of, the way our digestive system works and the way our hormones respond to food is based on our hunter-gatherer days. And that was ages ago. And we're so far inconceivably away from that now. And yet...
Yeah, but sorry to interject.
Yeah.
But before we were hunter-gatherers, we were apes. Before we were
chimps.
apes...
Weren't we chimps? Is that the same thing?
In the ape family, you know. We weren't directly chimpanzees. Chimpanzees are chimps. But we were apes.
Yeah.
Before apes, we were rodents.
Yep.
Before rodents, we were sludge.
Yep.
Before sludge, we were single-celled organisms.
Well, we were in the sea before that.
Are you saying that that the point that we're getting to now, maybe your point is that we're going too fast and we can't keep up with the change, but evolution is evolution.
Yeah,
Human
but there's
beings
two different forms of it. I think evolution is evolution.
and
well, yeah, I think this is the first time that we
evolution.
Are literally controlling our evolutionary path.
Nah, but I disagree.
Really?
Because we are evolution.
Yes.
We are natural. The things we create are natural. That computer right there is natural. We put it together. That's technology. A stick with a sharpened rock on it to cut a coconut is technology.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
That makes sense as well.
It's the same thing.
I think I just feel like.
Let me put it this way.
Yeah.
500,000 years before fire and before a stick with a sharpened bit of flint on it to cut open a coconut. 500,000 years before that technology would have looked pretty fucking crazy. You think of that right now, you think of it as primitive. Technology now, internet, radio waves, computers, television, cars, planes, space travel, that's technology. We created that. It's nobody but us created that. That's part of the natural evolution of... Well, that's why I had this discussion with Jill the other day. She's like, we're talking about evolution, like evolutionist path. And evolution doesn't have a path. Evolution responds to what's going on around it. You know, she was talking about I wonder when we'll get to our most evolved. You know, the end game.
But we can't get to an end game.
No, that's right. There is no end game. And we're not better than we used to be. No. We're just different.
Yeah, we are.
And we're learning as we go, and then we'll change and we'll become.
Well, then what I'm saying is that I'm definitely saying that our technology currently is growing at a rate that is too fast for our natural evolutionary. We can't keep up with it. Our natural evolutionary body, because that's why we're seeing things like far more stress and anxiety and depression, all that sort of shit in the Western world, because our body is made to still fend ourselves from that bear in the cave, fight or flight, all that sort of thing. When we're getting those sort of responses from things like,
social scenarios,
alarms on phones, and social, and things where we just
nervous at a dinner party.
Getting nervous at a dinner party and stuff. And so maybe when the next evolutionary thing takes place, or when it slowly evolves, we'll start to get more anxious and fat and hunched over on the computer and all that sort of stuff. And by that stage, technology would have evolved even more, where we may need our body now.
Alrighty, guys, just a quick break in between to thank our sponsors. So today we're sponsored by True Pride. So Tommy's been working with True Pride. So have I. I'm at a different stage of Tommy because I'm waiting for some investments to come in. Tommy, what have you found with True Pride for you?
Well, the biggest thing that I've found, and yes, you can say, you can just do that to yourself. You can just do that yourself and this and that. But the biggest thing I've found is accountability. So the actual way that the software works and what Craig from True Pride has set me up with is that it shows you exactly where all your money is going with direct links to your bank account. And like I was saying before, the accountability of just seeing how much you spend on things where you just, everyone can go to the 7-Eleven and go, I'll get this and that, or I'll get, whatever, I'll spend a little bit more money here. But you don't really get an understanding or a feel of how much that actually, builds up until you look at it. And with the software, what I've found is when it has it all categorized, for me, for example, it's food. I'll look at it and I'll go, shit, I'm spending this much money on food, which is way more than I thought those $5 here, $5 there would have actually built up to, but it has. And again, like I'm saying, that accountability factor of just actually knowing that, okay, if I spend this, I'll probably get into the habit of spending it tomorrow, which means I'll this and that. And now I haven't been spending the little things that I realistically don't even need. I'm just going home to eat now. For me, it's food.
Yeah.
And it's saved me, I think I'm up to about $70 on now, $70, $75 a week now. And I've actually been able to record that over the past 4 weeks, which has been fantastic. So,
and you've got plenty more places where you can save more again, eh?
Tons more. So just from food, I'm saving almost $300 a month, which is great.
If you guys like more money in your bank account, head to www.truepride.com.au/ADVF. Have a chat to the guys there. If you decide to join, they'll waive the joining fee of $297 on the spot for our listeners. We're also brought to you by Carve. Carve, guys, is where I get my assistants from. So I have 3 assistants in the Philippines, Alvin, Mon, and Aaron, and they are awesome. They run absolutely everything inside of Adventure Fit Travel. For example, I'll give you a rundown of some of Mon's tasks. Mon manages every social media post across all of our platforms. He does our filler blogs on our website, so he embeds little videos that we share in our newsletter and on our website for you guys. He digital messages Instagram posters that'll post on our trips saying that they want to go. He'll reach out to them and see if they want an info pack. He emails competitions all around the world, sets up sponsorship opportunities for us, so we're sponsoring 10 comps at a time all around the world, everywhere at any stage. He builds all the pages on our website. He manages our trip goers, so the invoicing, the surveys, the info packs, the detailed itineraries. He researches trips for us. He does the synopsis and title for the Adventure Fit Radio, the weekly email for the Adventure Fit Radio. That's just some of the stuff that Mon does. We run it all through Trello, through Slack, through online shared workspaces and productivity tools, and it works like clockwork. So these guys are $6 an hour US, $8 an hour Aussie, and if you want to get more time back in your life or upscale your business, you should do it. If you want any info, email me, doc@adventurefittravel.com. I'll tell you exactly how I do it, how I make it work, and how good it is. Otherwise, head to www.carve.ph/ADVF, and you can get 10 free hours to try out on any project. Alrighty, back to the show. Maybe, but why? Because we have our fight or flight reflex. We have that in our body now, and we don't apply it to getting chased by a fucking lion, and we don't apply it to hearing predators and use it for that actual what it was probably evolved for. But what's to stop people? I'm just saying this as a general. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Yep.
What's to say that people that had that evolved mechanism back in the day weren't still getting anxious at social gatherings, weren't having depression if their life wasn't going that well? I don't know. I don't know if there's studies. I don't know how you can study that. But
so you're asking, what's to say that the people, because clearly the reason why we have this fight or flight response and why we get anxious and stressed and stuff is because the people that didn't have it would run into that cave, get eaten by a bear, and they would die off. But the people that were anxious and fearful and stayed alive kept producing and producing and reproducing, and then that's where we're here now.
Yes.
So your question is, what's to say that those people that had the anxiety about running into the cave where the bear is that could kill us may also have had it when they're talking publicly at
anxiety.
At like an event
in the day? Why would they necessarily be any happier? Because we don't need anxiety, we don't need the fight or flight reflex as much.
We do need it.
Yeah. But like what you're saying is we don't need it as much as them.
We don't need it when there is no dangerous situation.
Yeah. So, but like the fact that they had it, what's to stop them from getting upset? Like my question was, why would they be any happier just because?
Because there's less stresses. I really feel like there's less stresses back then than there is now, and I've got no frame of reference because I wasn't alive then. All this sort of thing. But I feel like in a world where you're constantly connected, and it's just harder to switch off, and your mind's always going. You're going to be more stressed than back in a world where our bodies are naturally evolved to suit. Where the sun goes down, your melatonin goes up, you fall asleep. It's a lot easier, and we're more in tune to that cycle. There's going to be less stress back then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean.
Yeah. So like now, because of all this technology, a lot of us are going to sleep. So do you know, for example, that when you look at screen, that's emitting blue light, and sometimes it takes up to 4 hours for your melatonin to be released after looking at blue light. So you could fall asleep at 9 o'clock, but not get good sleep until 1 o'clock. And then you have to wake up early in the morning. Like, of course, that impact of not recovering is just going to start to build up mentally. You know?
Yeah, fair enough. But we also do have medical science. So you look at okay, it's like quality over quantity.
Yep.
Because if you believe, which I don't necessarily disagree at all.
Yep.
I just plain devil's advocate, and I don't know anything about anything, so I'm just making a conversation here. But say for example, we were much happier back in the day as hunter-gatherers, okay? So it's got to be right back in the day, because if it's agriculture, if it's even in tribal stuff, there's still lots of stresses, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Hundreds, lots and many more wars, many more conflicts, you believe. And then we take it back to what we see as like regular hunter-gatherers in little tribes that are wandering around. Like, that's where we think that we're at our most happiest. And this is where I think you're sitting, which is cool.
I'm thinking of the enlightened sort of local tribes, you know, that time, like the Mayan tribes and all that sort of stuff, the indigenous tribes. You know what I mean?
Mayans weren't tribes. Mayans was one of the biggest civilizations in the world.
That was a dumb thing to say. Not back at that stage. I'm talking before that stage.
Yeah. Okay, so I know what you're saying. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, nowadays, so the life expectancy, and again, this is just a ballpark figure that I have no real figure that I know of, but back in the day, it was, you know, life expectancy was
average
30 years old, 35 years old. Then in the Middle Ages, you know, life expectancy was 45 years old.
Yep.
This is, again, fucking an itch. If we had a bunch of listeners, if we had a million listeners, we'd get hammered for the shit.
That's right.
Because this is total bro science, but it's also, if you looked it up, there is
probably a lot of evidence.
Yeah. So, and now the life expectancy in the Western world, it's not as big, obviously, if you're not in the Western world, but life expectancy is whatever is 85.
Yep.
You know, so...
Did you just mention before quality over quantity, though?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But how much are we that unhappy as a human race?
Yeah.
Are we that unhappy that it's better to live 30 years of we don't even know how happy they were hunter-gatherer life with where you didn't know where your food was coming from, whereas now it is stable. You live to 85 years old. By and large, everyone's pretty happy. I don't know. There's definitely... You know, there's a lot of fucking people that aren't happy, and there's a lot of that's the biggest problem. There's no education on mental health and whatever. We talk about it a lot. But I mean, surely we're not in that bad of a situation. We're fucking the world up. We are fucking the world up. I think the world will shake us off, and we'll have to start again from a smaller group of human beings. That's what I think. But surely we're not doing too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're doing too badly, but I feel like it was a lot harder back then to... I mean, I just don't feel like depression and anxiety and stuff would have even been a thing back then. And we don't even know that. We don't even know that because
that's a big
there's no
generalization.
Records. I know it is, but in a world where we have
Makes sense. It does make sense. I
mean, think about what they're doing.
If you're having a guess,
you're
probably thinking people are a lot less stressed and a lot less, you know, depression, anxiety. But it is a guess.
They're hunter-gathering. They're going out. They're exercising. So they're getting, you know, because they're exercising to fight for that bear to eat at night or whatever. Their life was literally stay alive, have sex. That's sick. I'd love to do that.
I love life and I love sex.
Yeah, they're both great things.
If you could add some more than twigs and berries for food, I'd be fucking laughing.
Yeah. So they would all run around trying to find food for the next couple of days. So that's exercise. So you're getting those natural release of endorphins and dopamine. So they're on a high. They find food. Fuck yeah, we found some food. We bring it home. We all have a massive feast and get pissed and have sex. That's good. They wake up the next morning after having a fantastic sleep, after having sex, and getting all their natural release of melatonin. They wake up the next morning feeling super enlightened. They wake up, they go to the fridge, they're like, oh shit, there's still half a bear here. I'm going to eat this for breakfast. They're feeling great. You know, probably need to help old mate down the road with his house up in the tree. Fix that up. Apart from that, as opposed to us waking up here going, oh shit, another shit night of sleep because I've been on YouTube watching up conspiracy theories. Now, I'm not talking about anyone in particular here. Wake up, average sleep, got to go to work. I'm sitting down all day in some dead-end job. And this is the very, very end point of a stereotype. 9 to 5, sitting down at a desk, hunched over. My hormones don't like it. My body doesn't like it. I don't want to be here. I get to eat only when my boss tells me I can. I feel restricted. I come home. I sit in front of the TV. Again, my body doesn't like it. I don't know, but you, but you and I are pretty similar. And when I've biohacked myself to things that are more and more natural, I feel healthier and happier. Like if I'm eating healthier, if I'm getting my sleep quality right, things that they would have been able to do easy back in the day, I feel happier. All this sort of stuff, all this technology is fantastic, and I feel like it's advanced us greatly, and we're super connected, and there's tons of positives for it. But I feel like the actual nitty-gritties of just feeling happier and healthier, unless you make a personal decision to biohack, you're just feeling shit.
Well, yeah, maybe. You could be right. But you talk about going out and catching a bear and having it laying around in the fridge. That's cool. Humans, as hunter-gatherer tribes, were more insectivores than they were carnivores or herbivores.
Yeah.
So they would literally pick up bugs and eat them.
Oh, mate, I still do it.
Yeah, I mean, the Chinese eat it. Cool,
Yeah.
No worries, have fun. Not so much.
Well,
but,
you've got an ant nest down the back that I've been absolutely hammering.
But also, like, look at. There's a lot of things that you said there that we don't know about, and I'm happy to go with those.
Yeah.
Just having rough guesses, and
Yep.
and that's cool. But look at society, culture. Look at art. Like I'm sure there was different part.
They had art back then, though, didn't they? Like
Yeah.
paintings and finger paintings and stuff.
There,
I understand
there's
what you're
cave
saying.
paintings. I mean, there
Like
might have been music. There might have been music. There might have been plays. There might have been. But look at what this society has been able to like. You can go to a fucking good play and you end up in tears.
Yeah.
You know, you watch a movie, you're in tears. You go watch
It's emotional.
You go watch your favorite band, and that's the highlight, the most ecstasy you can ever have in your life. You know?
That's right. Yeah. Well, so this is a thing of now, is ignorance bliss?
And also fun.
Yeah.
Like, fun. They had fun. I'm sure they had fun. They found ways to have fun. But what I meant to say is, like, look at what we are able to do now inside of the world. So, like, if you're a hunter-gatherer tribe in Tasmania, in Australia, back in the day, then that's fine. You're roaming around Tasmania, doing what you want to do. We have no idea what this society's really doing for fun. But look at what you can do now. You can go and travel every corner of the globe. You can skydive. You can cave explore. You can
go to the movies.
Go skiing. You can go rock climbing. I mean, we don't know what these guys did for kicks, but I mean, fuck, man, we do some cool shit as a human species, you know?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, is ignorance bliss. Like, they didn't know that stuff existed. I mean, like, in 200 years' time, we could look back at ourselves now and go, oh my God, I can't believe you guys couldn't go for a trip to the moon, or you couldn't just this and that. I mean, that's so much fun. And but we don't even know what that's like. So I feel pretty happy in a sense of ignorance there, you know what I mean? And maybe they did back then as well.
Maybe. It's very interesting. I find it the most interesting topic to look into these days. I just finished Sex at Dawn, just read Guns, Germs and Steel. I've got Sapiens ready to go. I've got the sixth extinction ready to go. I just bought that the other day. So it's a topic that just fascinates me. The sixth extinction is interesting. It's about the mass extinctions in the world. There's been 5 mass extinctions.
Is that what Graham Hancock talks about stuff, or?
It's not a Graham Hancock
mass
book.
extinctions?
Mass extinctions, like mass extinctions.
Like pure, I mean, from what? Humans.
So mass extinctions mean large numbers of species becoming extinct in one small period of time. So,
Yep.
So there was a mass extinction of megafauna in North America around the time the Ice Age finished, and that was apparently overhunting by nomadic tribes. And Graham Hancock and we both believe that it was an asteroidal impact in North America, which that's why the Ice Age ended in a blink of a second, and that's why there's no megafauna on North America. So that's a mass extinction. So there's been 5 times in history that there's been. I haven't read this book, by the way. But I do know about the theory behind, like why it's been written, and I've heard about it and whatever.
Yep.
But there's been 5 mass extinctions in history that have killed, a huge portion of the living mammals on the planet.
Yep.
And this is the 6th. So I don't know what classifies a mass extinction. Like I said, I haven't read the book, but there's obviously a level where you get to where you're like, okay, there's a lot of extinction going on with a lot of species at the moment. Then it tips over one part of the scale and it becomes mass extinction period, basically.
Yep.
And we are in the 6th mass extinction period, and it is because of humans.
Yeah.
It's 100% because of us. So that is pretty eye-opening and pretty fucked up. So I think humans are the most brilliant animal in the fucking world that are capable of the greatest of great and the worst of worst. And the only problem with humans are we're very narrow-sighted.
Yeah, we are.
You know, you look at, we're very narrow-sighted and we're kind of greedy and we fuck things up, you know. But I mean, we still get a lot of fucking good stuff done.
Yeah. I wanted to make a point before and I've bloody forgotten what it was. Oh well. Oh yes, that's right. This is slightly off tangent, but this is more into the evolutionary thing.
Off tangent.
Yeah. This is a tangent. One of the biggest theories, you know how you see all those aliens in the Hollywood movies and all that sort of stuff, and they're kind of like small with like rounder heads and like kind of super smart and skinny and stuff. One of the theories, and that's actually based on a lot of anecdotal evidence supporting witnesses seeing those sort of things. And the biggest theory out there for that is that people, or some people believe or theorize that they're actually evolved humans coming back to our time, so traveling back in time to set us on the right path. If you have a look at it, so what I was saying before, technology is making it easier for us to get shit done. So there's a lot less hard labor. So we're going to have technology getting all of our stuff done. We're not going to be using our muscles as much, so we're going to get smaller and skinnier. I believe Asian populations are repopulating the Earth at a greater rate than any other population. So the natural look...
Why do we have big eyes then?
Well, hey?
Why do we have big eyes then?
Big eyes? I don't know about the big eyes, but I know about like the...
Aren't Asians supposed to be... I'm not trying to be racist or anything here, but aren't they supposed to be...
they have more narrow eyes.
Isn't it... what's that song?
I don't know.
Oh, what's that song?
Yeah, I know that song you're talking about. Anyway, I know what you mean, though.
They're supposed to have slanted eyes, what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, well, just by looking at them, you can tell that our eyes are different to their eyes. And, that's kind of what the theory is based on, that they're repopulating faster, so we've kind of evolved into looking like that. We're going to be a little bit smaller, a little bit skinnier. It's an interesting theory, isn't it?
So to all our Asian listeners out there, you little skinny, funny-looking alien-like people who haven't said too much, and you're going to come back and save us.
Yeah, I was really trying to say that as democratically as possible there. It's an interesting theory, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a bad theory. I've been reading Supernatural by Graham Hancock, which I'm about halfway through now. And
it's over there.
Yeah, it's just over there. It's the first book I've ever taken notes on, which has been pretty interesting.
Well, what about school?
I read one book through
What school did you read?
What school did I read?
Oh, God. What book did you read at school?
I forget which one it was.
What school did you read a book?
I forgot which book it was, but I read one book. I read one book in my 12 years of school. I got a Padua College high school pass or whatever, year 12 pass, and I read one book.
Jeez.
I know. I'm a really good cheater and I'm a really good bullshitter.
Did well.
But been reading Supernatural, so that's about mankind's rise to consciousness and things of that nature. The first part is basically about where, how, and why people were drawing what they were drawing on caves 50,000 years ago.
Yep.
What must have been going through their heads, and there's a real link to feelings that people get when they have psilocybin mushrooms, ayahuasca, and these are all things that all the most ancient cultures in the world now, Amazonians, Mesoamericans, that they all experimented. We know that they, some of the longest cultures, had always been experimenting with hallucinogenic drugs. The second part, which is not really, it's been an interesting read, but I wanted to get through it because the next part gets into the actual DMT in your brain, why it's released, how it got there. I'm really looking forward to getting to that part.
That'd be good.
But the second part of the book really is about, it shows the cultural similarities to, so since the 1950s, people have been getting abducted by aliens. This is what they say. So that's all well and good. We had this lovely fascination with outer space since we talked about going to the moon. Space sources, space travel, all these things. It wasn't really possible for people to think about going and having getting abducted by aliens Well, it was back in the day, but it wasn't as prevalent because it wasn't in society's mind, you know?
That's right, yeah.
So there's UFOs in the current day and age, and then in European, in Ireland and Scotland back in the day, hundreds of years ago, there used to be a fairy culture. So they would talk about people getting abducted by fairies.
Yeah.
So, and then shamanic rituals and like ancient tribes would talk about getting taken by a spirit, and then they would get taught all these lessons and everything. There's a huge amount of correlations that are the same between spirits with ancient civilizations, fairies in Northern Europe back in the day, UFOs. There's a ton of different correlations, as in like they always get taken away, and then they learn something, and then there's some sort of being doing this, and then there's also like there's huge correlations to like when they talk about getting impregnated. So they have hybrid babies trying to repopulate their species with hybrid babies. This is what they're trying to do, and these theories come through in the spirits, in the fairies, and in the UFOs as well. And they're nearly like the eyewitness reports and the stories are nearly the exact same all the way through. I couldn't really buy right into this.
Yep.
But
so what's it saying though?
Graham Hancock says
the
that there might be actual physical beings of another dimension that do this. Okay, that are able to come over and speak with people and interact with people and maybe abduct people. You know, he's just saying as a being totally speculative. Let's just open our mind to the ideas.
Yep.
But he also alludes to the fact that there's a lot of people in the world that have the ability to release DMT. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, by a lot of people, I mean like 0.05% of the population can release DMT on, not when they want, but they can release DMT and have really vivid dreams, basically like have an ayahuasca trip.
Yeah.
Because their physiology allows them to.
Yep.
So you put the ayahuasca, the actual practice of ayahuasca and psilocybin and all these things back in the day into effect, and then you look at the people that may be able to do this without having to take ayahuasca and all these psychedelic drugs. They can just release DMT.
Yeah.
There's reason to believe that these are the people that are seeing these other beings. So the other beings aren't actually real, but they maybe are real in the way of being a doorway to that other dimension that people talk about with ayahuasca. So the fairies, UFOs, and
so all
spirits,
that stuff is just the other dimension.
The other dimension, but you're able to see it.
Yes.
And you kind of put the beings into perspective in your own way.
Yep.
But it's the same story getting told through the same part of your body, the DMT, the pituitary gland.
Pineal.
Yeah.
Pineal gland.
Pineal gland, not the pituitary gland.
Yeah.
So
okay, that's really interesting. So like,
I don't know if that sounded like a fucking waffle of shit, but that's the supernatural.
Makes sense to me. So like all of those stories about. Okay, so what about clairvoyance and people that say they've seen God and all that sort of stuff? So you're saying that all of those tree branches stem from the one tree, which is actually just an ability to tap into that pineal gland and see that other dimension that we've heard about.
Maybe I'm not sure. I've never thought anything about it. It's not mentioned in the book. It's a very long. What's the saying? I'm fucking feel dumb today.
It's a very long philosophical.
Very long bow to draw. Is that the saying?
Very long bow to draw. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. It's a very long. It's very speculative.
It's very speculative. So I'm not 100% behind it, but it's an interesting way of looking at these different circumstances that people fall under, and that when they go and see these spirits, they do this and they do that. And you know, it might come from our own release of DMT in our mind, and then that links in with everything that all the oldest ancient civilizations of the world say that there's another realm. Yeah. There's higher beings there.
But every civilization today says there's another realm. People say heaven and hell. People put a religious connotation towards it, but that's another realm.
Yeah. So, I think religion is different to spirituality. Whereas
it definitely is.
Whereas I think religion, they believe in there's this thing out there, like in the clouds,
some of them
God
do.
looking down at us.
I've been learning a lot about Judaism actually recently, and it's a bit different to that. It's really interesting. Interesting. I think Christianity is one way of it. Hinduism, Buddhism is really different. Judaism is definitely different again. But what I've been learning is that there are religions out there that have closer links to spirituality than Christianity does, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, like spirituality back in the day, the oldest cultures, they actually practice spirituality. You know, they went and they would do tribal dances where they would exhaust themselves to the point where they would pass out, and they would have these dreams where they would go into another realm. That's what they would call it. Same thing that they would do with ayahuasca. Same thing they would do. They would do it through pain. Some tribes do it through pain, through
sacrifice and stuff.
Look, I can't do it enough justice, but it's interesting. It's interesting stuff. The whole evolutionary biology, and I mean, we don't know what's right and wrong, what we're doing right now with the planet, but it's
interesting.
It's fair to say we're fucking it up.
Yeah.
But it's fair to say I think it's a better time to be a human than at any other time in history. I think that. So there's a website called futuretimeline.net or .com.
Just quickly, when does Graham Hancock say that we became into consciousness? We think, therefore we are.
He doesn't say anything.
He doesn't say that.
Well, he might get to it. I'm only halfway
From
through
memory,
the book.
he said it was when chimps started to eat, or monkeys came down from the trees and started to eat the mushrooms that were growing out of the cow shit. And then that's when they start. So he believes that consciousness came as a result of having these trips, these hallucinogenic trips.
Yeah,
so
but why? Yeah,
tying that back into what what was saying before. If the hunter-gatherers knew they were humans and knew what it was like, maybe they were having fun.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the stoned ape theory is all well and good, but I mean, how come no other species on the planet that eats the same mushrooms has developed a consciousness to the same extent that we have?
Well, we don't know that though. Just because you have a consciousness doesn't mean you necessarily have to be intelligent. We know.
Well, to be conscious is to notice yourself.
Yes.
So if you look, I think it's defined. If you look in a mirror, and you see yourself in that mirror, you go, "That's me." Then that's, I believe, or maybe it's just thinking. But basically there's different levels. You're right, 100%, and it's not intelligence. There's lots of other things with consciousness, but why do we rise to your question with the stoned ape thing? Then is not even consciousness, because it's more intelligent consciousness or intelligence.
But the reason we've risen may not be because we're the only species that is conscious. It could be all. Remember that thing you were telling me about trees? How they can literally tell their mates when they're being under attack, and they can change
send off pheromones when people are eating their leaves, and they change the taste of their leaves.
That is amazing. That is not communication as we do it, but that is communication.
Yeah, well, that's right. You know? That's why I think it's so much folly to like statements like Brian Cox's statement and statements like Seth Shostak's statement. Everything, those guys are much smarter than me, so I don't mean to try and pick on them at all.
They're more researched in their specific field.
Yeah, but they look at everything as
from a human perspective.
Yeah, from a human perspective. Whereas, like dolphins, for example, and whales have a very, very complex language. And we don't know anything about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they have societal structures. They have families. They stay with their families for their whole lives. They fucking cry when they have their children taken from them.
Yeah.
You know, they literally, the audible sounds they make are
we can't even hear
weeping.
Them. Yeah, that's right.
But they make, you can't hear the tones of what that changes, and they fucking cry.
Yeah.
You know, and we can't understand that. We can look at hieroglyphs and we can figure out what the ancient Egyptians are saying. We can look at languages and we can figure out what's going on there. Yep. We can't understand what whales are saying, but they have a fucking system.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, so this is why I think we don't know it. We don't know shit about it. Shit.
Yeah, and I think it's ignorant. I think it's naive to assume that we do. But Neil deGrasse Tyson says that really interesting thing of how, you know, we're giving off radio wave signals and all this sort of stuff, and it's how hasn't any other civilization not heard us yet? We've been doing it for ages, but it's like their form of communication may be unable for them to recognise radio waves. They just make some higher.
It might be telepathy.
Yeah, that's right.
Telepathy.
We just don't know. Yeah. And that's the same thing. You can look at that from an interplanetary perspective, and you can look at it from on this world as well, and go, well, dogs I mean, dogs fucking sniff each other's butts. Maybe that's some form of communication we don't know about. I mean, I'm definitely giving it a go. But like, you mentioned dolphins before being what we do know is that they're insanely more emotional creatures than we are, and how they cry, and they also have sex for pleasure, and their cerebral cortex is, I think, just as big or bigger than ours, or maybe just a fraction smaller. Like I believe that a lot of species out there with pineal glands and with the idea to hallucinate and have dreams and all that stuff are conscious, and they know that they exist, but they exist differently to the way we exist, and because we're more dominant, that's the reason why we've developed further. And therefore, we have this naive perspective that, all these things are dumb and we're smart and we're the only things around, But everything's conscious. I mean, those trees, like, who knew that trees knew when they were being eaten and could tell their mates down the end of the street?
No shit.
That to give off other pheromones and other signals so they won't get eaten.
It's like there's so much going on in the world right now as we speak, currently at this very moment, that we don't know about. 100%. And it's like we keep referencing fucking him, every man and his dog, but Russell Brand, and I've said this again on the show before, when Russell Brand was talking on Joe Rogan's podcast, he talked about
Great
his cat.
episode.
Yeah, he talked about his cat knowing about the internet. Like, would my cat know what the internet is? And nah, your cat wouldn't have a fucking clue what the internet is, but the internet's up and running.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? This is like these other dimensions, and people talk about when they have psychedelic drugs and they're taken to another dimension, there's all these different dimensions in life. Then that's just stuff that 100% I believe is probably out there that we just can't access because we're living in this fucking... We're just not able to.
No, we're just not able to at all.
We're not able to.
Yeah, exactly right. I know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Good little session there.
Interesting.
Very
that was a good little sesh.
Yeah.
Should we pull the pin there, or
we should pull the pin?
Yeah.
It was a good session. We'll come back to that. We could talk about that for ages.
Yeah, no, it's always good. That's why I like reading so much, because I read some book and then you read some book and we come back and we fucking wax lyrical about it and make it sound ridiculous, and everybody thinks that we're idiots, and then they go read the book and find out that everything we said was totally wrong, and but they still get to learn. And
they don't listen to the show. Very good.
Alrighty, sweet.
Alrighty, guys. We'll speak to you next week.
Later on.
Alrighty, guys. That was the show. Just quickly, at the start of the show, I said the word poignant, and I had no idea what that meant. Poignant actually means evoking a keen sense of sadness or despair. So... When I watch a poignant movie, it means that I'm touched. I'm touched in an emotional and in a physical way, depending on who I'm going to see the movie with. So guys, if you like that show today, Bill and I love talking about that sort of stuff. So please give us a like on iTunes, a rating and review, and please actually do give us a rating, because we want to know who's out there, who's listening. And what sort of shows you're into, because as I said, we can talk about that sort of stuff till the cows come home.
Write to us on social media too. We get lots of comments and lots of emails and lots of people commenting on the website, telling us what they liked, what they didn't like. We don't get much didn't like, so tell us that if you do find something that you don't like.
Tell us what you hate.
Tell us. Give us feedback, guys, and we'll keep trying to build this show for you.
Yes, we will. Hey, we're sponsored by True Pride, aren't we? Tell us a bit about them.
True Pride, guys, make sure if you want to get some more money in your life, head to www.truepride.com.au/ADVF. Have a chat with the guys there. If you want to join, they'll waive the fee of $297. It's a great product. Make sure you go check it out. Also, Carve is another sponsor of ours, guys. If you want to upscale your business or get more time back in your life, head to www.carve.ph/ADVF to get 10 hours for free.
Oh.
And also Adventure Fit Travel. Make sure, guys, head to adventurefittravel.com. Check out what we've got going on. And use the code RADIO for 10% off.
That's all good.
See you next week.
Discovery Roger, go for deploy.